What's up, everybody? I cannot believe we are at week 10 with the 770G. I will honestly say it's been a fun ride, and I am ready for the 780G. So to kind of touch on that, I do apologize. It's been a little bit over a week since my last video. For those of you who are new to the channel, you know that I work a 5-on, 5-off schedule. This past week, due to a series of events, I worked my 5-on days, worked an additional 6th day for somebody who called in sick, had 1 day off to deal with personal matters, and then I took a 3-day work trip, returning back home, and now I'm in the middle of my next 5-day stretch. I do have a work shirt on, and per my company's policy, I'm trying not to show my logo. So I do apologize if I'm kind of in the camera. I'm trying to record this video so that way I can get it out to you guys as soon as possible. I just ran a report for my 770G over the past week, March 1st through March 7th, the past 7 days. And I did tell you guys a week ago that I was trying to start a new program to try to do diets and stuff, and I had ordered a rower. That's been a whole series of problems. I haven't gotten the rower yet. Hopefully I will get it this next in the next day or two, and I can start that process with you guys. I have been focusing on what I'm eating, and I'm trying to eat healthier items. So with that being said, I'm looking at a weekly report now for the past 7 days, and I've been within range 97% of the time, and 3% of that time were high between 200 to 250. I have to reference the Medtronic chart because that's their numbers. I'm looking at my carbs entered per day. It's kind of similar, about the same as what it was the week prior. About a month ago from that data, in February 15th to the 21st is what this report ran. So it's just the overall of me focusing on, okay, my sugar's a little elevated now, let's say about 160. I know I'm going to eat. Let's do a partial bolus to kind of get that blood glucose to come down, and then kind of that's how I've been doing my pre-boluses and kind of planning on it. And then I've also been focused on making sure I'm entering in the right amount of carbs. In doing that, if everything is done correctly, I've carb counted correctly, everything's good, theoretically, my blood sugar should come right back down. There are some times I will try to under-program my carbs just a little, see where my sugar is. I don't want it to bottom out. I don't want to do a little too much. So about an hour and a half after I've eaten, most of that insulin should be worn off. If I'm a little high, about 180, I'll do an additional bolus for the remainder amount of carbs, 10 or 20, to get me back down to where I prefer to be in the 120 range. The 770G does a phenomenal job of maintaining my blood sugar. So with that being said, I mean that if my sugar is steady between 100 and 130, the 770G does a really good job at maintaining that, as long as I'm not throwing any other variables into play. As far as like exercise or eating, the 770G does good. It has learned. I did do a test as far as starting a new sensor goes for somebody, and I kind of paid attention, and it's something that I don't think occurs every time because it was quite annoying last week when I started my new sensor, but it did require me to do 4 6-hour calibrations, which I think is a little absurd. I don't believe that happens all the time, and I do believe that there are ways that we could kind of work around that by you do your initial calibration, an hour later, if you can, you do another one and see if that extends the next calibration. I haven't played around with it too much. I was traveling for my work trip, so I was trying to calibrate in between my flights and travel and all that other stuff. So I didn't play with it too much. I am going to play with it some tomorrow, I believe, is my sensor change day. Hopefully, I think I might be at work when I change my sensor. If not, I'll definitely start it before I get to work. I'm not sure exactly what time it it expires fully. So with that being said, I don't have any complaints with the 770G this week. Everything has been functioning well. One thing that I did notice, and I did share it on my Facebook page when I noticed it, if I'm doing a quick work trip, I don't change the time zone on my pump, because I might change it when I go and then I'm going to get busy on my way back and I'm going to forget to change it again. So if it's a quick, just a couple day trip, I won't change the time. Often it's either I'm either moving from Central to Eastern or Central to Mountain Time. I'm not moving that much of a difference for it to truly matter. But with the Minimed Connect app, I did notice after I arrived at my destination in the Eastern time zone, I did get a notice above my graph that said check pump time. I think that is an amazing feature for Medtronic to roll out, and kind of have it to where if your cellular device's time isn't matching up with your pump time, and hey, it kind of gives you just a little warning to check your pump time. That I think is extremely useful. I'll see how it works when the time changes in a week. That would be the true feature that I would love it for, because that I think would be the best thing for me, is if I accidentally didn't realize the time change. That's happened. I went 2 weeks last time the time changed without updating my pump. Sorry. Anyway, we're not all perfect. I think that's great. I've noticed a couple of Medtronic ambassadors and then a couple of other individuals asking, what items we would like to see in our pumps moving forward. If you see that, comment. Please know that Medtronic is working on advancing what the app can do. I think that it'll be a work in progress, especially over the next year to 2 years. And I think it will be it has the potential to be an awesome product. I know smartwatch support. I will say Apple Watch for the future because I'm an Apple user. But smartwatch support or Apple Watch support is something that I know a lot of people want. Kind of thinking a little bit further down the road, I believe that we should be able to get more data through the app about our pumps. I would like to be able to see per hour what auto mode is delivering, because right now we just get the little dots and you can't get the micro bolus information from the app currently. You only can get that from the pump. So I would like to see, I think it would help users all together know what auto mode is doing in the background. So if you can kind of look, or like on the graph, it gave you an hour auto mode delivered 4 units of insulin or whatever that was, and you can see how that varies. I think that would also help with people seeing how auto mode functions as users. So if you looked at a 12-hour increment period and you can see that your sugar rise and see how auto mode increases that, I think that the visual reference on a smart device through the app would be so much better than what's displayed on the pump. I would also like to see in the future some additional data be displayed on the pump. Not necessarily reports that we get through CareLink, but some stuff similar to that's been fine-tuned for the user or the caregiver. That would be really good to see trends and stats. I think the best way for Medtronic to incorporate that would be to move forward into kind of a nutritional app as well that could either be part of the Minimed Connect app, or it could be an app that works in unison with it. So that way the user can kind of program in their carbs, their nutritional information, and kind of see how that information relates to what their blood sugars are doing, and their kind of help them manage. I think that would be a phenomenal thing moving forward. I would like to hope, I'd like to see that. But I do know that we are in the early stages of the app connectivity, and hopefully we'll fix out these little fine-tuned things first, like maybe give us a little bit more information. And the biggest thing is smartwatch support, and then something that I would love to see, because it's a bit of annoying, is the alerts on the phone. If I clear the alert on the phone, however Medtronic has to do it from a safety standpoint, whether the user has to click I acknowledge or something to clear it, and then it clears on the pump, because it's a lot easier to try to clear that notification on the pump versus, back that up. It's a lot easier to clear the notification on your smart device than it is to try to find where you might have your pump and pull it out and clear that notification. Example, in the car with your seatbelt, sometimes in the sitting position, it's hard to remove your pump from your pocket. On an airplane, anything like that. I know some women put their pumps on their thighs and their bras, just different places that is not convenient to remove it to clear a notification. The next thing I would love to see, or this is kind of part of the reason why, is if I check my blood sugar and it's elevated, I don't know why, but 5 minutes later, the pump's going to tell me that I have a high blood sugar. Like, no crap, pump. I just told you what my blood sugar was through my meter, my finger stick. I know it's high. So little things like that, I think we could work the kinks out of and make the pump overall user-friendly. But as far as major problems, I haven't had any. It's been a very good week. I was blown away when I pulled up my CareLink report there and saw that 95% time in range was what I was last week. To me, that is amazing. I haven't gotten quite that high. I did hit 100% time in range, I believe, a couple days ago, but then I had an infusion set that wasn't absorbing insulin properly, and I ended up changing it, and so that resulted in a high for me before I changed it. So, yeah, I mean, you guys have any questions? I will say, we are up to 141 subscribers now, which my goal for the month of March was to hit 150. I think I'm going to hit that a little earlier than anticipated, but that doesn't mean you guys shouldn't subscribe. I'm trying very hard to respond and provide my input on questions that you guys have through either direct messaging on Facebook. I can't post screenshots or anything like that to YouTube, so if you do have something that would require a screenshot, maybe of what my graph looks like or any of that, I can only do that through Facebook. And then some individuals have reached out privately to me through Facebook, and I try to respond as fast as possible. I think that's part of this. You guys are constantly hearing from me, and I should take the time to hear from you. So with that being said, my goal is to try to respond to most of you within a 2-day period. I am learning the Facebook page notifications and how that works and where I have to go to respond. So if I do delay in response, because I probably couldn't find it or I didn't see it, and I do apologize for that. I am running a new app that kind of helps manage the Facebook page, so that gives me separate notifications from my primary Facebook. So with that being said, please subscribe to the channel and go like my Facebook page, Justin the Diabetic, and let me know if you have any questions. I really enjoy the interaction with everybody, and I want to help you guys as well as kind of create a community of people who are all in the same category as far as the 770G and hopefully the 780G within the next year. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys in a couple days, and let me know if you need anything. See you later. Bye.